Okay, 68 members are joined. Okay. Am I audible? Students, am I audible? Okay. Let us start. Actually, on Friday session, actually, we don't have a Saturday session. Okay. On Friday session, we are working on a linear regression problem, right? So, I think on that day we got some disturbance. Today, again, I will start that problem and I'll execute that problem with a fresh. Okay. All of you better open your Jupyter notebooks. Please type along with me. Okay. In the Jupyter notebook, we'll do the problem. Okay. No problem. So that the remaining people who left earlier on the day will also get benefited. Okay. I'm starting my Jupyter notebook. Meanwhile, all of you, please start your Jupyter notebooks. All of you, please start your Jupyter notebooks and be ready with me to start program execution. And please make sure that the .csv file is already made or not by you. And once look into that file where it is stored. Identify the path where you have stored that CSV file. Okay, why? Because that path is needed to open that file first. Okay, let me create a new Jupyter notebook, new Python 2, new Python 2. Okay, let me rename it. That is linear regression exercise. So today's date is 22/06/2020. Okay. Now first, give a acknowledgement that importing the packages. Importing the packages. Okay. So what is the package that we want to import? From sklearn dot linear underscore model import linear regression. Press shift enter. From sklearn dot linear underscore model import linear regression. Today I'll also demonstrate what is the differentiation between GraphLab and linear direct sklearn packages. sklearn is also called it as a scikit-learn package. Okay, generally the packages which are necessary for machine learning algorithms are derived from this scikit-learn package. The GraphLab package is also very useful. Okay, but we can do more analytics when compared to scikit-learn. I'll show you that difference today, definitely. Import pandas as PD. Press shift enter. Import pandas as PD. Shift enter. Now I want to make a markdown. loading the data set. Shift enter. That is df is equal to pd dot read underscore csv f. My file name is input underscore data dot csv and which is stored in my F drive. Okay, which is stored in my F drive. If you want, I will show you that file in my F drive. See, this is a studies F drive. In that you can find my file input underscore data. Like that, you have to store your CSV file somewhere in your laptop or system, and you have to access that path. According to that path, you have to open your file. Again, press shift enter. The next one is what you have to do is inspecting the data. Inspecting the data. How we can inspect the data? Using this head command. That means what we have inside that file. What we have inside that file. Okay. Clear, all of you? Up to this is clear. So far what we have done is only we have imported the packages and we have loaded the data set. That's it. And we have inspected the data. Now what I want to do is, I want to create the model. Okay. I want to create the model. Create the model. For that, what I will do is model is equal to linear regression. Again, press shift enter. Then it will successfully create a linear regression model. Now, what I will do is I will configure the data. That is configuring inputs and outputs. Okay, configuring the data as inputs and outputs. So how we want to configure means I will consider the inputs are stored in X, capital X, and I want to store my outputs in small y, like df dot drop off opt comma axis is equal to 1 dot values. So here I have successfully configured my data inputs, and I want to configure my data output values. Same error, huh? Sorry, not drop. What is the output label name? OPT, right? See, here the output label name is what? OPT. So you have to give OPT. Okay. Now, train the model. Let us train the model. Hash train the model. Now in the train the model, how we will train the model means that is model dot fit of x comma y. That's it. Okay. Whenever you want to train your model, use the method called fit. Fit of x comma y means I am fitting trying to fit the inputs and outputs in my model. Okay. So I want to check whether it has been fitted correctly or not. For that, what I have to do is I have to check the score. Okay. Sorry. Model dot score of x comma y. So what is it? This is the accuracy percentage. But let me tell you, this is a training accuracy, not testing accuracy. Why? Because I am checking the score on the entire data which has been already trained. So here it is called it as a training accuracy. So it is what we'll call it as a training accuracy. For example, if you want to make it as testing accuracy, if you want to calculate testing accuracy, I have one more data set, input underscore data one. On this, we can do that. But it is a simple linear regression model, so no need. Okay. Once okay, I'll show you. Have you saved the person? So these are the loading the data set. The person, sir, it is showing error as labels of OPT is not contained in access, means whether you have saved your file in .csv extension or not. That is very important. If it is not in the .csv extension, such kind of errors will come. I already told you to load the data, save the data set in an Excel file and save it as a .csv file. Save as .csv file, then you won't get this error. Here in my file, INPT1, INPT2, OPT are the labels, the corresponding labels of the corresponding columns. So here what I am doing is I am considering. Have you inspected the data, Venkat Sai? Have you printed the first 5 records of your file? Okay. Okay, we'll see afterwards. After the completion of this, we'll discuss. Okay, let me complete this first. So now I want to check whether my model is working correctly or not. For that, randomly I have to pass some values. Okay, I want to check 45 plus 87, how much? Okay, I don't know what is the result. For example, I already trained on set of values. I already trained on some set of values, okay, with accuracy 99%. And now I want to add this 45 and 87 and I want to check the result. Press on. Okay, how much you got? 132. 132.031, something like that. Okay. So this is the predicted value. How can I provide you? How can I provide you? Okay. Those who want data set, please give me your mail IDs in the chat box. Those who want data set, please give your mail IDs. Domain mails directly can give. 17131A0397 @gvcce.ac.in. Anybody else want data set? Okay, okay. Slowly, please. I want to see. It is very difficult for me to. Okay. One by one, please. One by one. Don't mail. Don't stop giving your mail IDs. Let me finish one by one. Okay. Don't give me the mail IDs. I'll ask. Okay. Stop, please. I think all are asking. Who are asking me? I think second years. Okay. So what are the branches here? We have ECE. Okay. 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 Instead of doing like this, okay, what I want to do is I will upload in my drive and I'll share you the link. Okay. I'll share you the link. No problem. Yeah. I'm uploading it. Yeah, that is what I'm doing. Okay. I'll create the link here. Okay, right. Now, yeah, right click, get shareable link. I think some other college people may also there, so that's why I'm sharing for everyone. Okay. Yeah. From this link, please. From this link, all of you please download the file and use it as a data set for you. Okay. Okay. Sure, sure, sure. I'll show. No problem. Yeah. See, first what I have done, I have imported the packages which I require. That is sklearn linear regression. And I want to import pandas, that is PD. And then I have loaded the data set, that is input and I have checked the, and I am checking the insert cell above. Okay, markdown hash, checking the training accuracy. Okay, that is like model dot score of x comma y. And again here predicting the output for new values, new inputs. Is it clear, all of you? Any doubts? See, you should be fast. Why? Because we have to execute another program, right? So we don't have enough time. Please make it fast. Adapa Soumya, from where you want? Okay, from starting. See, Khwaja Mohiddin is helping me. But students, be very fast, okay? Otherwise, it will take lots of time. Why? Because we have one more program to do, right? So Moinuddin is already copying the commands. Please copy those commands. Copy those commands and execute. Next, create the model. Moinuddin. Model is equal to linear regression. Okay. Then you have to configure inputs and outputs. X is equal to df dot graph of OPT, comma, axis is equal to 1 dot values. The seventh step, I want to configure output also. See, this is a small program. That's why I'm typing like this. For the graph lab, it is not possible for me to do like this. Okay. So be very fast. Model dot fit of x comma y. And and then model dot score of x comma y. And then model dot predict of 45 comma 87. That's it. Okay. Just copy these commands and paste it in your Jupyter notebook. Okay. Sir, why do we give two square brackets? Yeah, we have to pass it as a, it is a double dimensional array. We have to pass the inputs for whatever you want to check, like a double dimensional. Okay. So if you observe, this is a list. If you have single, what do you call, single pair of brackets means it is considered as a list. And if you have double brackets, it will be considered as a double dimensional list. Okay. So you have to pass double dimensional list as the input for the predict method. Axis equal to 1 is nothing but all the dimensions. See, I already told you your data will have some dimensions. Okay. So your input 1, input 2, and output, all these labels will be in the same axis. So out of those 3 columns, I want to drop only OPT, and I want to consider remaining 2 as the input columns. So from that axis, I want to drop OPT and considering remaining 2 as my input. The features will be referenced through the axes. We already seen in the explanation content, linear regression content, how we have calculated the column wise dropping. You have the drop. We have dropped the OPT, right? Now OPT means yes, column wise. So I want to drop OPT in the axis 1. Okay. So if you execute this model that predict, you will get this value. Actually, this is the predicted value. Okay, 132.031555386. For example, if you want a rounded value, then you'll write import numpy as np, then np dot round of model dot predict of this, and then you'll get 132. Okay, I have truncated these fractional values using this round method from numpy. Okay, now let us check it graphically. PyPlot as PLT, matplotlib inline. I want to give. Let's have a graphical understanding. Graphical understanding. Okay. For that, what I'm doing is I am importing the matplotlib package. Inline means it won't display the graph in the separate window. It will display the graph in your notebook itself. That is the meaning of inline. Now what I want to do is, I want to put X label as actual values, and I want to put Y label as predicted values. Okay, and I want to plot y comma y with a color blue, which forms an ideal line. That means I already told you, assuming that the ideal line can be formed by assuming the predicted outputs and actual outputs are as same. That's why I'm taking y and y, actual output and predicted output for both. I'm considering y. Okay. Now, if you want to understand the convergence of the remaining data, so you have to use the scatter function y comma model dot predict of y, model dot predict of y, and I want to give color is equal to red. Now use this plt dot show. Model dot predict of y. Sorry, not y actually, it is x. Like this, you will get the graph. Okay. So all these red points are what? Predicted values, and this blue line represents the actual values. So you can observe the predicted values are converged on your actual values. Am I right? You understand? The predicted values are converged to the ideal line. So here, if you see, because it is showing the accuracy as 99%, so maximum you can find maximum convergence. Like this, we can perform the linear regression. Yes, is it clear, all of you? Shall we go to the next example? Now let us make use of GraphLab. Okay. Now we'll go for another example. I think all of you have a home underscore data dot s frame, right? So now we have a use with that data set, that is actually s frame. So what I will do is, first point, fire up GraphLab. For that, what I will do is, I will import GraphLab. Meanwhile, I want to create another markdown. Let's do some analysis on housing prices. For that, what you have to do is load some house sales data. Okay. Load some house sales data. For that, what I do is I use houses is equal to GraphLab dot sframe f home underscore data dot s. Okay, I'm going to load some housing sales data. So no problem. We'll explore on April 10. Okay, we have lots of time. I want to execute the same line and another time. Okay. Now the line has been executed successfully. S frame is created successfully. Now I want to observe my houses. For that I use houses.date head. Okay. Before that I want to create another cell. Markdown. Inspect housing data. For that I have used this head method. Okay. I use this head method in order to inspect my houses data. These are the various columns that I have in my housing data. Okay. What is the price of the house? How many bedrooms are there? How many bathrooms are there? What is the living area? What is the living area SFT? What is the lot area SFT? How many floors are there? What is the grade? What is the condition? All these things. So many columns we have. Okay. Totally we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 17. Total 20 columns we have for this data set. Am I clear? Totally we have 20 data sets. By inspecting the data, I have analyzed that I have 20 columns in my data set. Now let us explore the data graphically. Okay. For that, create a markdown. Explore the data or explore the housing data graphically. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is sales dot show. So not sales. Houses dot show. So here I'm not printing the values in the notebook itself. Okay, I'm not set the notebook as the target. So it is opening in the separate window. Okay, so it is still loading the columns as it has the 20 columns and we have how many? With ID we have 21 columns and we have totally 21,613 records. Or I can say that 21,613 houses are there in your data set. Okay, 21,613 houses are there with 21 columns. Now let us understand some what do you call plots. So I want to compare price and SQFT of living. Now this is the scatter. Okay, how the values have been oriented. Okay, if I consider price on x-axis and living area SFT on y-axis, here you can change the change of the price along with the change of the price along with the square SQFT of living area. Okay, if you want to study the same statistics on your notebook itself, for that what I will do is graphlab dot canvas dot set underscore target IPYNB. So now I want to check SF houses of which columns we have studied? Price and prices, price and SQFT of living area. Now I want to check that in scatter plot. I want to study those two columns using scatter plot in my notebook itself by considering x-axis on price. Price will represent x-axis and living area SFT on y-axis. Now execute. It takes some time. So actually it is showing the box plot distribution. I don't know what is the reason. I think the space is not supporting well. But if you want to study that, there is another approach, that is you can directly study on this web page. Here you can compare how the price and SQFT are changing together. So if you follow as scatter plot, for example, if you construct heat map, here I can observe the correlations. Okay, how the correlated, how the values are correlated. Okay, so if you increase the blur, you can see the correlation between the price and the SQFT. Here, I am studying only the relationship between SQFT living and the price. Okay, I am not considering the remaining columns here. I want to study only those two columns. Why? Because I want to implement the algorithm on those two columns. If you observe the line chart, it will be represented like this. Okay. So now what I want to do is, the data into two sets, that is a training and data set. Splitting the houses into training and testing sets. So for that, what I will do is, I will create two variables, training data and testing data, which is equal to houses dot random underscore split of 0.8 comma seed equal to 0. That means it will select one by one randomly, okay, and it will divide the data set into 80% training data and 20% testing data. I already told you what is the advantage of dividing the whole data set into training and testing. First, we will try to fit the model on the training set, and then we will check the accuracy on the testing set. Then it will be useful for us. But we have not done on the previous example. We have considered only training accuracy only. Here we don't consider any testing data set in the previous example, right? So in this example, I am considering both training data and the testing data. Okay. Now what I want to do is, I want to build the regression model. I want to build the regression model, build the, or else I can say that simple terminology, create the regression model. So how can we create the regression model using GraphLab? So I want to create SQFT model. That means I want to analyze the price. Here my target variable is price. Okay, that means I want to predict the price. As we have the discussion on linear regression on that day, we have done the how the price is going to change. So here my target variable is price, and I want to predict that price based on the SQFT. That's why I have created model and I have name it as a SQFT model. So for that, what I have done is I have using GraphLab dot linear underscore regression dot create. I want to fit the model on my training data, and my target variable is price. Okay, my target variable is what? Price. And which feature you are supplying for it, that is also important. Features is equal to, in the square brackets you have to give SQFT underscore living. So what is the meaning of that? By considering this SQFT feature and by considering this price as the target, I want to build a regression model. That is the meaning. Okay, press shift enter. After pressing shift enter, you have successfully trained your model. Okay, the linear regression, here you have given a number of examples, that is 16,523 examples have been trained with one input feature and one output feature, and number of coefficients are 2. Number of coefficients in the sense what? Let me show you. For that, what I'll do is, first I will evaluate my model. Okay, I will evaluate my model, whether it is giving correctly or not, evaluated correctly or not. Evaluate the simple model. For that, what I'll do is, first let me check the testing data. Test underscore data price dot mean. I'll tell you why we have calculated this mean. Okay, based on that, I want to calculate the price, accuracy of the metrics for my model, that is SQFT model. The model name is what? The model name is what? SQFT model. Here we have SQFT underscore model is equal to GraphLab dot linear underscore regression dot create this. So here we are creating the regression model, and now we are evaluating that model by considering the testing data price mean. Okay, so for that I use evaluate test underscore data shift enter. So the maximum error is 4 lakhs 13,000, 41 lakhs 38,184, and RMSE is what? RMSE is what? Residual mean square error. I already told you, we have discussed in the session. RMSE means residual mean square error. So what is the difference between the mean of the testing data price and RMSE of testing data? Okay, here we are evaluating the model on testing data. Then only you can check the accuracy of your model. Okay, always you have to check the accuracy on the testing data. Then only you'll get the idea how accurately your model has been trained. So what is the difference between the mean of the price of the test data and RMSE? Almost 3 lakhs. Okay. So let us check the convergence. Let us check the convergence graphically. Root mean square error or residual mean square error, anything is correct. Here I am considering this RMSE as the residual mean square error. Residual is nothing but the differentiation between the actual values and the predicted values. Okay. Root mean, that is also called as a root mean square error. Okay. Both are scalar, both are same. Now, let us check this let us evaluate the model, our model graphically. Okay. Uh, Let me make it as a markdown. Evaluate the model graphically. So for that, what I'll do is I will import matplotlib dot pyplot as pld and matplotlib inline. Okay. So for that, what I will do is I will plot test of testing data, SQFT living, and the testing data price as dot, and I want to plot training data also SQFT underscore living. That means we will see how it is converged, how the testing data has been converged with respect to training data. Okay. Price with the symbol hyphen. Okay. I want to plot these two values as the dot, and I want to plot these two values as the hyphen. Now let us check how your checked. Okay. Give me some time. I'll give you some more. Let me show you the complete command. Okay. So you have to write SQF testing data. That means what I'm doing is I am going to plot this testing data, SQFT living and testing data price as the dots here. And I'm going to compare the testing data SQFT living, and I am predicting the prices of testing data, and I'm going to check the convergence with the actual testing data values and the predicted testing data values. Okay, let me give you the what do you call clear explanation here. Here the blue dots represents, okay, here the blue dot represents, okay, the actual values. Blue dot represents what? Actual values. and this green hyphens will represent the predicted values. So here how this has been converged, how the actual values are converged with the predicted line, what you have done. With your model, what you have done is, I already told you, if it is a linear regression model and you are supposed to draw a straight line with the line, with the given data points, I can draw any number of lines. Am I correct or not? But here the question is, which line is best fit for your model? That is what our aim here. This green line is the best fit for your model. Here all the blue points will represent you the actual values, and with that actual values, how the best fit line what you have evaluated is converged with the data points. That is what we are studying here. Am I clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? As I already told you, we can draw any number of straight lines with our data set points. But the question is, which straight line is best fit for your model? Here we are identifying that line. This green line is that best fit model when compared to your actual data points. Am I clear? Yes? Am I clear? Please respond through chat. Please respond through chat. Am I clear or not? Otherwise, I'll go to the next point. All of you got the graph? All of you got the graph? Yes? Shall we proceed further? Yeah, sure. Abhiram Singuru, up to what? Up to what I have to scroll? Which command? Is it okay? From graphical representation, right? This is how we graphically represent the best fit model with your data points. Okay? Is it clear? Abhiram Singh, is it over? Shall I proceed further? Abhiram Singuru. Okay, I'm going for next. So what is the equation of the line ax plus b, right? So let us check the coefficients of our model. What is the name of the model? SQFT model dot SQFT model dot get of coefficients. So this is the coefficients. Okay, as we have only single feature, so your equation is nothing but ax plus b, where a is the slope and b is the intercept for you. So this is the intercept value and this is the slope value. Okay. Okay. So here in our scikit-learn also we can identify the coefficients. The scikit-learn also you can identify the coefficients like this, model dot coef underscore. So this is the slope and intercept of our previous example model, and these are the slope and intercept of the current model, current example model. Okay. Now, so I'm not satisfied with the predictions what we have done with the SFT and the price. I want to join some more features, and I want to study how this and I want to perform some analytics on the price. So instead of taking only single feature, I want to do the same with multiple features. I want to do same with multiple features. ఇప్పుడు దాకా చేసిందంతా మనం మల్టిపుల్ ఫీచర్స్ తో ఎలా చేయాలో నేర్చుకున్నాం. So for that I want to create I want to explore other features of the data set. So what are the other features of the data set? For that I want to create an list. What are the features I want to study means I want to study bedrooms. I want to check how price is changing with the help of bedrooms, bathrooms, and SQFT living area. And I want to study with SQFT of lot. And I want to study with the number of floors. And I want to study with the help of zip code also. Why I am giving zip code here means, for example, if you take Vizag, the SFT value will be different from area to area. You may have SFT cost with some value in Madhurwada, with a different value in MVP, with different value in Sitamadara, with different value in Gajwaka. That means what here you can understand, the zip code is also playing a very important role in order to estimate the price. Am I right? That is why in order to estimate the price, I'm not only taking the only single feature, I'm considering all these features. With the help of these features, I want to perform some analytics on my price. That means I want to predict the price. First of all, I want to study these features. For that, what I want to do is houses of my features, houses of my features dot show. So these are the columns we have given, and we have the distributions like this. This box plot will represent how the values have been distributed out of all the data set values that we have considered. Okay. Now, what I want to do is, again I want to build a regression model. Again, we already created the regression model for SQFT and price. Now I want to consider all these features. Again, I want to create the regression model. Creating the regression model. Now the model will be created with these features, not only SQFT living, but also the other features what just we have mentioned now. So how we will create the model means my features, the model name is my features underscore model is equal to GraphLab dot linear underscore regression dot create. Okay, dot create. I want to create this on my training data. Okay, the target is same. Okay, the target is what? Price. Whereas features, what? My features. Am I right? Okay. This time the target is also price, but the inputs have been changed. Here the inputs are not only SQFT living. The input, there are so many inputs that we have included here in the my features list. So based on all these input features and the price, I want to build a regression model. Okay. So the model successfully built. So number of features are 6. Okay. The number of quotients 75. And the optimal solution has been found. Now what I will do is, now I want to evaluate and I want to compare the SQFT model okay, based on test data, and also my feature model, my feature underscore model of test underscore data. What is the model name? What is the name of the model here? My features underscore model, right? My features underscore model my features underscore model dot evaluate. I forgot to give evaluate. Once check the we have reduced the RMSE when compared to SQFT. Am I right? Have you observed the change? By taking only single feature, by taking only the single feature, the residual mean square error is 2,55,000 something. By considering all some of the features what you have given in the list, your RMSE has been reduced to 1,80,000. Have you observed the change? I observed the change. Here the max error is also changed here. Here it is 41 lakhs and it is reduced to 31 lakhs. Okay, that means here we have done an efficient analytic when compared to the single feature analytic. Okay, by considering only SQFT living as the feature, this analytic is more efficient. Okay. So what I want to do is, now let us apply these models to predict the house cost. For that, what I'll do is I'll create a markdown and apply learned models. Apply learned models to predict prices of 3 houses. Let us take the houses one by one. I want to take house 1. Okay, I will select randomly from houses. I'll select randomly from houses whose houses ID is 530910120. I'm considering this house in order to predict the price of it. Now let us see what is this house 1. Okay. ID is equal to comparison equal to. Okay. Now let us check what is this house 1. What are the parameters this house 1 contains. So these are the parameters. First, all of which once check what is the price of the house. How much the price of house? 6,20,000 US dollars. With ID this. Now we are going to predict the cost for this. Okay. Okay. What is the actual cost? Let us print the actual cost first. Give the markdown. Check the actual cost of house 1. That can be known by print house 1 of price. This is the actual cost. Okay, that is what I already told you here. 6,20,000, right? That is that value only printed here. Okay. Now what I will do is I will try to predict using SQFT model as well as the uh, my features model. Okay. Predicting the house one price using both learned models. So for that, first let me use SQFT model, SQFT underscore model dot predict of house one. Okay, SQFT model dot predict of house one. So how much it is? 6,29,834, somewhat nearer to your actual cost. Am I right? Okay, let us check the value with the my features model. My features model that. So this is 7,29,900. So it is giving 1 lakh more. I think all of you are very happy with this model. It is giving 1 lakh more than the actual cost. So you can demand your client to pay 1 lakh more. Am I right? Am I correct? So this is how we can check. Let us consider another house, house 2, that is houses whose ID is 192 506 9082. Now let us check the house 2 price by printing it. So what is the house 2 price? 22 lakhs. Okay, somewhat it is highest, somewhat costly house. So check the actual cost of house 2. That is print house 2 price. How much it is? 22 lakhs. How much it is? 22 lakhs. That is what we have observed here. Now let us predict. Now let us predict the house 2 cost using the models what we have learned. Okay. That is hash that is SQFT underscore model dot predict of house 2. How much it is? 12,62,000. It is giving very low. It is actually giving the 10 lakhs less than the actual cost. Okay. So this model is not suitable for this house. Okay. Let us check the same with my features model. So not model. Predict. My features underscore model. Sorry. So how much it is giving? 12,31,543. By actual cost is what? 22 lakhs. So if the so here I can say that when compared to all the houses, this house's actual cost is much more than predicting cost. Much more than predicting cost. Okay. Let us take one more house. This time I want to take Bill Gates house. Let us check the first. Let us check the Bill Gates house statistics. Okay. For that, what I'll do is I will take Bill Gates house, which can be derived from houses whose houses ID is equal to 7237 550 310. This is Bill Gates house ID. Let us check how the Bill Gates house, what are the Bill Gates house, that means what are the amenities of your Bill Gates house. See, it is 12 lakhs 25,000. One floor is there, 4.5 bathrooms and 4 bedrooms. Okay. Now let us apply the model on this Bill Gates house. Print SQFT underscore model dot predict of Bill Gates underscore house. So how much it is showing? 14 lakhs 83,410, which is nearer to the actual cost, right? Actually, the actual cost is what? 12 lakhs 25,000, and is nearly it is showing 14 lakhs 83,400. If you apply my features model on Bill Gates house, my features underscore model dot predict of Bill Gates underscore house, still it is representing 14 lakhs. So here what I can give a conclusion that when you compare all three houses, for house 2 and house 3, it is giving the, in the same model, it is giving the almost same values. By comparing this house 2 and house, here I can say that if I take the opinion poll between house 1, house 2 and house 3, house 1, house 2 and house 3, this all the models what we have giving, what we have trained, giving the close values for all the houses. For house 1, 6 lakhs and 7 lakhs, which is the nearer values, right? And for house 2, 12 lakhs, 12 lakhs. For Bill Gates house, it is giving 14 lakhs, 14 lakhs. So both the models are trustable models. Both the models are trustable models by taking the conclusions of predicted prices for our model. Okay. Now what I want to do is, I want to give some exercise for you. All of you want to see the Jupyter notebook. Identify the zip code of a house having highest price in the data set. That is the first question that you have to solve. Okay. You are supposed to identify the zip code of a house having the highest price in all over the data set. And you have to print the corresponding SQFT. Okay. Okay. The second question, build the regression model on all other features, on all 20 features except ID. 20 features, 20 features, 20 features except ID with target as price, and predict any 3 houses with that model. Okay, assignment is clear, all of you? Yes? Any doubts? Any doubts? The assignment is clear? See, no need to send this notebook. You can find this lecture video in our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has been created for our college. I'll show you. Go to youtube.com. Go to youtube.com. In the search, type Dean Placements. Okay, subscribe the channel. Click on Dean Placements and go to videos. Here all the videos have been uploaded. Okay, so our lecture videos are also available in this. The videos are uploaded up to linear regression, up to the Friday class. Okay, you can find all the notebooks, all the corresponding lecture videos in this channel. Okay, and you can practice, no problem. Am I clear? We have a YouTube channel, Dean Placements in YouTube. But if you do this assignment, means then only you can have a confidence that you have understood the linear regression model. Am I clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? If you don't have any doubts, we will end up the session. Please acknowledge through chat. Shall we wind up? Please acknowledge through chat. Shall we wind up, or any doubts? Sure. Girish sir will do that. Okay, the doubts, all the doubts are, all the doubts will be cleared, and hope all the doubts are cleared. And all the lecture videos are available in your Dean Placements channel. No problem. Okay, all the videos are available. All the videos, including RPA, UiPath RPA tool, Talent Next Java classes, and machine learning classes. With all these courses, all the lecture videos are available in that Dean Placements channel. You can browse that channel. There we have the capability. There we have the facility of pausing the video, and by pausing the video, you can practice on your Jupyter notebook. No problem. If you have any doubts, you can ping me, or you can mail me, or you can call me. No problem. Okay. Shall we wind up the session? Yes.